Hey, one of the resources that I like to use in my classroom is Desmos, and Desmos is an online graphing calculator, but the feature that we tend to forget that it has is that if you go to teacher.desmos.com, it also gives you a lot of activities that you can use with your students in the classroom. So this video comes up and it kind of tells you a little bit about what they have to offer. They have a little bit, some um, explanations themselves of what they have of marble slides and collaboration. And you'll see here they show a picture right here of the class gallery. So when the students all sign in, you can see what they're working on and doing on their own screens. And you can also see where it expands. And this is an example of polygraph that allows them to it's kind of like guess who with math functions. So if you create an account, it is free, and they have bundles available on the left-hand side based on these, but you can pretty much find anything that you would like. So go with something a little bit easier to see what Linear Bundle has. You'll see there's 7 activities built in here, so you could have all of your students work through this. So what are important features of lines? Again, that's polygraph, which the students would play, like I said, guess who interactively with a student who's also logged into the class on the same account. So there's another polygraph. This one is how do I specify the slope of a line, and they have points on the line. Match my line, land on the plane, or land the plane rather. How do they appear in tables, graphs, and equations? So as you can see, it's kind of everything about lines that you could have, and it's all activities that are pre-made for you. So I'm going to go with match my line, and you'll see that when you click on the activity, there is a student preview of what the screens look like. So it kind of takes them through a slideshow of a welcome, and let me show you that in large screen here. Welcome. It tells them what they're doing for each match my line challenge. Plot a line that passes through the given points. So when they say let's get started, okay, so we are adjusting the equation. It does give you tips for teachers, so you can use the teacher dashboard to identify students who may need help. So in this case, let me get rid of that so we can see the line. Adjust the equation so the line passes through the point. So they can see that the slope, if we make it, if we change it and do 1/2, it'll go through that. So hopefully they're seeing that, you know, if we do a whole number slope, it's going to look like that. If we start adding a negative in there, it's going the wrong direction. But then when we start changing it to fractions, because we're not sure, we can see that the fraction gets it to where we want it to be, but we've got to figure out the right fraction. And then when they're done, they submit to teacher, and then they would move on to the next question. And then this one is, again, based on each line, writing the equation, and it will check their work. So let me see here. Equation number 1. I guess line 1 would go through this point. So we would have y equals x plus 2. And line 3. Oh, no, we're not adding. They're all going through the origin. I should read my own directions. So we're just going to adjust the slope again. So that one, so going up 1 over 1 is going to go up 5 over 3. And look right there. And then number 3 is this one down here. So that's going to be y equals 1/3 x. And I'm going to check my work and see it goes through the point. So I was good on those 3. And that'll take them through more challenges where they can settle a dispute, see who's right and why. They can adjust the equation, and now we're talking about a different y-intercept as well as a different slope, and lots of pages here for us to to kind of scroll through and see what this is all about. And we can select an equation. So lots of good activities. This one is creating quadrilaterals, so it gets a little bit more involved. So again, they have these bases for them. You can also edit these. These are extension ones, but you can edit what they have available and kind of create your own and see, I don't like this one, but I like this one. Take out some of those ones that seem a little bit out of there. So again, now you can create classes in here. You can create a class code. So I need to sign in. So let's see. Apparently, I think I did the signing with Google. Whoa. So I got myself logged in. I had to figure out my password there for a second. But the students would go to student.desmos.com and they would type in this class code, or you could send them to this this link if it's easier to share that with them. And once they do that, then they would have they would get into their own site. And so let me show you what theirs looks like. So I've already put in the code. They can sign in. At Chesterfield County, they're not allowed to sign in, so they would continue without signing in. They would enter their name. And you might need to be specific about entering an appropriate name and one that you can actually find them with. And then you hit go. And so again, they're going to go through exactly what we just went through and click through the exact same set of problems that we were just working through. And let me show you, get that out of the way. Let me show you that now that I've signed up, this is the dashboard that I'm looking at. And I can see that Rachel is on screen 2. And if I have more students, I would be able to see where they were at. I can pause where they are so that they can't continue and draw the class back together. I can look at their pacing. I can anonymize it so I can take their names out of it so that I can project a specific student screen to show them. So like if I do that, gave Rachel a very unique name, and then I could pull up her screen and say, all right, well, this is what, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but this is what this student's doing. What do you guys think? And just kind of share out some things and bring the group back together. So again, they're working through at their own pace. I'm walking around, I'm keeping an eye on things. There is a large amount of resources on there. Like I said, we can see my answers. I have no responses yet, but I would get answers here on this screen 1, and as I flip through, I'd get, these are the answers on screen 2, and then the students, again, this is what they're looking at. So this is the dashboard that you would look at, and overall, lots of great activities, and if you're willing and able, you can make your own, or you can edit the ones that they have, but I highly suggest getting in there, looking around. Our students are usually excited when we go into Desmos and play some of their games. Like I said, the polygraph is a guess who, where they had to type questions to a classmate across the board. But overall, great activities. Highly recommend this resource.